Yes, hello and welcome to another City Talks live Q&A. What do you think of this awesome intro just now, that countdown, right? Yes, I want to say thank you to Jan, who really created this awesome countdown as part of our City Talks. Thank you so much. That was very spectacular to say. But welcome to the last City Talks of 2020. I can remember the day that we went into a first lockdown, had to cancel our physical offline events, and then suddenly had to come up with something new. And then City Talks was born. And then ever since it stayed, actually. So now it's a monthly live Q&A series where we talk about different themes and invite speakers from all around the world, just like today, actually. And yeah, it's been quite a ride. This is number 9 already. So really looking forward to this special theme because that's one also close to my heart. My name is Robin. I'm the City Enthusiast Officer of A City Made by People. And before I'm going to introduce the speakers to you, I quickly would love to introduce you to A City Made by People. A City Made by People is a platform and a network, and it is something that has been born around here now for, I think, at least 8 years, but we've changed up a lot of things around. So we call ourselves a creative home for city enthusiasts, and we have the mission to really facilitate these meaningful connections among city enthusiasts around the world, with one greater goal is to really empower them to take action in creating a better city. So that's also our vision, is that we want to create better cities through creating better citizens. We want to empower you through different tools that we create, but also to facilitate a lot of these amazing talks like we're doing now. So what we are what's a creative home? A creative home is what we see as a community of members. We recently launched a membership platform with city enthusiasts. And by becoming a member, you get access to amazing stories from our network, access to courses that we've recently recorded, City Talks like we're doing now today, and we launch monthly challenges. And each month we try to launch a theme, and all these facets of that we're providing products are feeding into this theme. So this month's theme is all about giving back because it's the spirit of the month. Same as the City Talks that we're hosting today. And the network we're working with are city captains, city correspondents all around the world. As you see on your right is a long list of great cities and committed citizens around the world that, volunteer, that help us create these amazing stories, that go out there and look for these amazing stories, but also help us find amazing speakers all around the world. And give a lot of input on what's trending in their city. So we're super happy to have them on board. It's very much a collective intention and collective effort. It's not something that we just come up with. So very grateful to have them all on board. And part of our offering, City Talks, is this month's question: how can you give back to your community? And of course, it's not us that talks about the theme. We invite experts all over the world. And today we have experts from Jakarta. Well, actually, she's in Bali right now, Munich, and in Amsterdam. And I would love to bring up Irina first to say hi. 1 second. Add to stream. There you go. Hey,
hi.
Irina.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's a bit late here, but
thanks for staying up so late.
Of course, I'm very happy to be
What time is it
here.
now in Bali?
It is 1 a.m.
Okay, good. Well, we try to keep it within the given time of 45 minutes, and then you have a well-rested night. But Irina, you're founder of, or co-founder of Cassie, and I'm all ears on what it is all about and what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, so Cassie is actually a social enterprise that allows users to purchase a charitable donation as a gift. It works as a gift card, and so the recipient actually gets to choose where the donation goes to.
Okay. I think you've also created a nice movie, right?
Yeah, that's
Let me just
our
play
music
it if that's
video.
okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Well, nice tune there. I think there's another one. This is one of the cards, right?
Yeah, so these are our physical cards just to show you what you actually get. So we have virtual and physical cards. Our physical cards are fully made of recycled paper. Yeah, so you can opt out to choose a virtual or a physical card. And then, you get that unique give code. And then you can enter it on our platform, on our website. And then you actually choose which charity you want it to go to and what cause you'd like to support. And after that, then you can see with that set amount of donation what it actually contributes to. So this one's an example that supports the Bali dog. And for 100,000 that your donation, your puppy will receive its first vaccination.
Cool. That sounds amazing. So is it a very local initiative only for Indonesia, or is it also like global?
We're still doing with local partners and local charities. But yeah, I mean, hopefully later we might grow from Indonesia, but right now we're focusing on the Indonesian market.
Wow, great. Well, it's great to have your angle from Indonesia on this theme. And well, happy to have you here. And I'm going to bring you back up in a second. All right, cool, thanks. And next one up is from Amsterdam. Yes, there's Eva. Hello, Eva.
Hey, hi.
Nice, I like the Christmas tree.
Yeah, I like yours too.
Well, we got to know each other like almost like last month already.
Yes.
Because we also worked on an exciting course together.
Yeah.
Yes, you founded the Sunshine Journey in 2018. For those people who don't know it, I mean, please introduce yourself.
Yes, of course. Well, I'm the owner of the Sunshine Journey, which is an online platform that is there to inspire others to do voluntary work, to give back, and to support charities. And I do that both locally as well as worldwide, because I do it a lot when I travel, or when I used to travel before COVID came. So yeah, it's a platform, and I have a little web shop. I write a lot of blogs, but mainly my Instagram is the way to inspire others to connect with people that do the same or that have the same values. And it's a beautiful sunshine journey. Yeah.
And there are a lot of people that are actually also following your journey, right? On these projects, like here, for example,
Yeah.
you did gifts for kids, right?
Yes, quite recently. Yeah, we did that to help children that don't usually receive a present during the December month. So we collected a lot of money and gifts to give to all the children in the area here.
Wow, beautiful. And here is that. Yeah, no, it's not the most charming picture, maybe, but you occasionally also pick up trash.
Yeah, so actually, that's a really fun thing to do, to collect a group of friends and then go out to a park or a neighborhood close by and make sure that you clean up the surroundings, because it's very peaceful, and at the same time you're volunteering in a fun way. So yeah, that's what I do as well.
And then from your travels, as you mentioned before, I think that's also where the idea was born, right?
Yes, that's true. Yes. Yeah, it really gives a good vibe when you travel to actually go to a charity and help out for a day or two, and help them in any way that you can. It really adds value to your travels, and I do it as much as I can. So this picture is actually from my last visit to India, and I went to Varanasi to a local orphanage where 27 girls are living and 500 children have school. And I went there for 2 days to help them out and to enjoy the time with the children. And yeah, beautiful. It's very valuable.
Nice. Very versatile, your work. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to
Thank
have you, and of course, the last one is that we worked on a 4-episode course where we talk about
Yes.
how to volunteer. So for everyone to check out, it's available now. More to that later. I'm gonna thank you for now, and
Yes, you're welcome.
switch to Munich. All right, doei. And then hello, Munich. Yes.
Hi.
It sounds like Eurovision Song Festival almost, switching to different cities.
Absolutely.
How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you to be here.
Absolutely. Thanks to our colleague Pauline with her Munich roots. She spotted your great initiative. Well, you're founder of The MacGyvers, which personally I like because it's one of my childhood
Mine too.
Swiss Army knife, dreams. So great name. But I'm happy to hear more on what The MacGyvers is all about.
Yeah, for me, I have to say that I'm a guest worker child. So my parents came from Turkey to Germany to have a better life. And so in my cells, there is this big sense of gratefulness. I was always grateful that we were in Germany and had the possibility to go to school and everything. And so in my life, I always try to make a change on a systemic level. So I'm always watching and trying to understand what could people help to have a better life. And that's why I'm engaged in different areas like education. I'm trying to help schools to get a bit better projects where the kids learn things that they really need in future. I have an initiative, it's called Next Entrepreneurs. We are doing startup thinking and doing for kids up from 12 years old. And what you see on the picture is my little son, and I'm a food saver for 8 years now. And many people think food saving, what's that about? Is she going into waste bins and pulling out the food? No, I'm going to the supermarkets. Yes, but the most important thing is that eliminating food waste would be the third most effective activity in climate change, in climate protection. And this is what people don't know. People think, oh, it's just a little part of bread, but not. If you eat that part of bread and you don't throw it away, you would save the world. And that's why I'm engaged many years now for raising awareness for this topic with food sharing. And what I do is every year I'm doing my Christmas dinner, and now it's Christmas time. And you see me very relaxed, but no, I'm really stressed out in Italy because in 5 days we will give out 1,000 packages of surprises to people in Munich. And that's where I'm now trying to organize that as good as I can.
And that's what's called Weihnachten in Au.
Weihnachten aus der Tüte, Christmas out of a bag. Yeah.
Right.
So this year it's
contactless.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a contactless. And who are those people that you're serving? Different kinds of groups of people?
Yeah, what I don't like is to serve just the poor people or the, disabled ones. For me, it's all about being us. Not you and me, it's more like we together. And that's why I always say we don't prove if you are in need. We give you just to make you happy, and that's it. And that is what makes this so magical, because every year when we have the Christmas dinner, for 2 hours, everybody is equally, like the rich and the poor and the lonely people and the people in a family, they all come together, and for 2 hours, there's no difference. Yeah, and that's makes the magic.
That's where the magic, that's like the breaking bread principle, right, as well.
Absolutely. Not judging. I think it's the most important thing in life, to not judge others and not to judge for what I think it's correct or not correct. It's more like just going to people without any expectations, just taking them as they are.
Wow, beautiful. Well, that's already that sets the tone straight away. Let's revisit that as well, and bring back the other two as well. Well, thanks for the great intros. I mean, I already love your work, and like we start with, of course, with no judging. But let's start off with the first question. It's part of the Q&A. To everyone watching, just note that you can always raise a comment, whether you're watching through Facebook, through YouTube, on our website. There's a big comment box below, so please share your questions or comments, because we just create time to have those answered. Because after all, we want you, of course, to learn and feel empowered. So make use of it, please. And yeah, the first question that we have here is that giving back. Some say it's volunteering, but giving back in general. What makes it easy, fun, but also at the same time difficult for many people? Maybe from your own experiences in your projects and so on. What is it that people are tested with?
Shall I get started?
Sure. First come, first serve.
Oh no, please, Eva, go first.
Okay, I'll start. Well, I think giving back is easy because you can do it really close to your heart with something that you really love to do, or that you are experienced with, skilled with. That makes it easy, and especially because it's a lot of fun to help someone. You get a lot of good feeling afterwards, and that makes it also fun because you can do it quite easily and help someone. But the difficult part, I think, can be that it maybe takes a bigger step to do the first thing. Maybe you have some insecurities, or you're like, do I really help someone with this? So maybe the first thing to do can be maybe a bit difficult, or maybe the times can be difficult, especially now with the situation. I think with COVID, things get a bit more complicated. Mm-hmm. But as long as you don't put too much energy into those boundaries, it can mostly be easy and fun, I think.
Yeah, it's more complicated, but it's more necessary maybe than ever. Yeah. That's a bit the problem here. Yeah. Marina?
Yes. So I think giving back is quite easy in terms of like what the feel good that comes after it. But I think what makes it difficult is sometimes to inspire others to also give back, because not everybody is in the same mindset as you are. So I mean, that's what Cassie is really trying to do. We're really trying to redefine gifting and reduce material waste. Material gifting that sometimes people don't necessarily need, and then it becomes that turns into wasteful giving. So still keeping the spirit of gift giving, we instead give a charitable donation, and then they actually get to choose what they want to talk about. I mean, what they want to support, what causes they would like to support. And what's great is actually the conversations that come after that, after giving your friend this card, and then after that, you're going to ask like, hey, which cause did you support? And then it's like, I supported the Bali dog, or I supported the orang utan. And then you'll be like, oh, okay, you're an animal lover. It's kind of like new topics. And I think it also excites on both parties to give back. I mean, I think for some people, giving back is just natural. I think we're here because we always want to give back, and we get so much good feelings from it. But I think one of Cassie's missions is to really inspire more people to also come and join and give back, and still keep the spirit of gift giving.
Yeah. And it's interesting because, of course, we're doing this theme now in December, which is, of course, quite almost like a no-brainer. But sure, throughout the year, this is a very important theme. Is that, as you say, like you make it part of daily life because of those moments that you give people a gift.
Yeah.
So that's a very interesting tactic, I'd say, right?
I have to say that for me, it's like if you start deciding that you want to give back, that you want to volunteer, the most difficult, I think, for most people is to find the thing that matches with them. So what do I like to do? Do I want to help animals, elderly people, disabled people, whatever? And what makes it so challenging, I feel, is always that giving back is, you have to face your own fears and your own doubts you have, because as again, I said before, giving back is just honest if you do it without any expectations. And often I realize that the volunteers that are those in need sometimes because they want something back. They want that people are grateful, are respecting them or stuff like this. So to be really honest with you and develop your skill and your sense, your awareness of, I'm just giving back for nothing. And if I do work with some people and they don't act like I expected or want them to be, or I can't help them really sustainable, then that's okay. That's where they are. And you shouldn't expect that all what you're doing has to have a direct impact. And again, I founded some kindergartens in Munich, and they are called Karl und Liesel. It's named after Karl Valentin and Liesel Karlstadt. They were like comedians already dead, but very intelligent. And Karl Valentin said one sentence out of many, but this sentence is, we don't need to educate our children. They will follow us anyway. So the power of just being a role model, of just giving the impulse is so much bigger than telling people what to do. So I think that's when you realize that, then you have a lot of energy to do good stuff.
Yeah, so that's really interesting, because it's then you're trying to ask people to be more initiators, right, or facilitators.
You show them that it's possible without annoying them and forcing them. And that's where you don't lose your energy in being frustrated because others don't follow. You just be yourself, and believe me, over time, people will see that and will feel engaged and motivated to do the same.
Yeah, you lead by example, and then the rest will do its work. Yeah. Okay. But I think that's the crux here as well, right? Because fast-paced life, people don't have time. We're all super impatient. People.
When I started with my campaign, Christmas out of a bag, in 1 week, I had more helpers than people that will receive the bags in 1 week. And that was like, okay, now we have to have more people that we can help, not people that help. Now we have 1,000 bags and 150 helpers. So that's the difference. But you see that people really, I think, especially because of these times this year, people really want to understand, how can I help? How can I contribute? I see that a little bit, those activities, as sometimes a test of just doing something, and perhaps they like it or not, and then they know it and they can develop.
Yeah, because that's also brings back to the second question. If you ever want to respond to the others, just barge in, right? I mean, there's no rules here. Throw your Christmas tree around, wave it. No, this is how do you know what people need, and then of course, how do you create time for this?
Shall I get started again?
Yes.
Well, I think that finding the time also comes along with enjoying it, because if you enjoy it, I think you will easily find your time. But of course, we're all very busy, and it can be challenging sometimes. But there's a lot of activities that you can do just for 1 or 2 hours. So it may be easiest to start with those activities, or just to help out with small things at first. And then, I mean, I do some things that I can do in the evenings, or just on a Saturday morning or Sunday morning when I have some time. And I think it's always a challenge to find what people need and how you can be of best of help. But I think that's also part of the journey, that you find also the way you like to do it, and how it's maybe you shouldn't expect it, like Guinness said, what the appreciation will be. But if you find something that you like to do and you see that it actually helps others, I think that is very valuable.
Yeah, just leave out the expectation and then just do, because otherwise you just don't do it, right? So if you overthink it too much, and nobody will do everything.
Yeah, that's very true.
But how do you organize yourself, Eva?
Well, like I said, I do it most of the time just as small things. So I like to find opportunities in the smaller things, or in daily routines, daily life. and I found a little bit my way in what I like, how I can contribute, so what can be of any use. At the moment, I do social media for a nonprofit organization, which I do 30 minutes every like 1 or 2 days. And then I do some tutoring for a student in middle school or high school, actually, which is 1.5 hours a week, which I think it's just fun and nice. And, I learn a lot from it too. And then in the weekends, I usually do any small voluntary task with a friend. So we combine it with doing something social, meeting up with a friend or having a coffee, but at the same time, doing something that can be of value. For instance, buying gifts for my activity with the gifts for the children recently, or how does it like picking up trash when you walk in a park while you have a coffee. Yesterday I did a little, I was going through my Christmas cards, writing Christmas cards, and I wrote some extra cards to give to some people in the neighborhood. And I think these small things that are actually can be attached to your daily routine, or actually the things that you like to do, and they can be of value for someone else.
Yeah, and I think this also shows that it's in the little things as well, right? That don't take that much time. I mean, you can write cards in 10 minutes, for example, right?
Exactly.
Doesn't take the entire afternoon.
No, definitely not. It shouldn't take over your life.
Yeah, I think if it's 1,000 bags, might be a bit challenging to do that in 10 minutes.
Yeah, that takes a bit extra.
Yeah. And what about you, Irene? I mean, how do you make sure that? I mean, this of course your company as well, but how do you try to make time for it?
Well, this is something I'm very passionate about. I grew up with my mom always making sure that I always give back. So yeah, I think the passion drives me because I really do think that, in the bigger picture, that this can help a lot more charities. We can help, fund a lot of their programs. And with Cassie, which, I think the feature that a lot of people like is that you actually know where the money is going towards. Because we collaborate with the charities, and then we ask, what do you actually do with the funds that we raise? What does it contribute to? So they do give us like a rundown of what, how much. So 100,000 rupiah is about like 8 euros. What 8 euros does up to like what about 100 euros contributes to. So I think knowing, some people I think really want to know where it actually goes to. Sometimes you don't want to just give back and you're not really sure, what did I actually help, or what did I actually help fund or support.
Yeah, it's actually really want to get the results almost of what they bought, right?
Yeah.
Like if we help orangutan, then it needs to be made visible that we've helped that orangutan, for example.
Yeah. So one of our small amounts actually fully just provides food for the orangutan, because apparently they eat a lot, like kilos and kilos of food, and so that's part of what our donation contributes to, because they eat a lot of I think it's bananas, and it's kilos and kilos of bananas, so they have to have that ready all the time. For the bigger amounts, you can actually because the orangutan is a rehabilitation center, so they actually just house them in, and then after a while, when they're ready to be put up in the wild again, then they get let out. And so then while they're inside, for the bigger amounts, like 100 euros, you actually help take care of them for like a month.
Oh, wow.
Very cool. Are you also thinking about doing something more for, like, I don't know, people, local communities, or do you have ideas there as well?
Yeah, so we actually have 6 causes, and one of them is the future is female, because in Indonesia it's still quite a patriarchy country. So we do want to support women refugees, or just women workers around Indonesia. And then we also have Education for All, which we've partnered with the Learning Farm that actually helps like empower youth to learn how to do organic farming so they can make a living on their own. And also one of them is waste management. And we work with a charity that's called BGBJ, which is literally in the biggest landfill in Jakarta. But they create a community there to help. So the person who started this charity, because we're not the ones starting the charities, we're just helping them, empowering them, and putting more awareness about them. But the BGBJ, she's, I really look up to her. She came from there. Her parents finally found, could support for her to go to school outside, but she came back, created a community, and empower all the kids there. That's literally living by a rubbish landfill, which is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, those are beautiful stories to share as well, huh? So people get more, be more conscious about what's happening.
Yeah.
Cool. I raised a question to the audience about volunteering. If you have any ideas or want to share your stories, please do. One other thing that I raised here, a question that I was overthinking this afternoon. So this is like a personal story. When like back in the days, I was studying, and I was part of a dorm, and this was in Toronto, Canada, actually. And it's always something that stuck with me is that I had to pay rent, of course, for my room. Otherwise, I got kicked out. But I also had to community service, and a concept that I was always surprised by. And then every month we got an assignment. So, for example, for a budget of $10, we had to go to a store and buy household products. And then that bag of household products we had to then hand in at room number 27. And all these were collected and then brought to, probably to a shelter or, to those people in need. So then I had to think of this concept of community service. And then isn't that something that we maybe should, reintroduce in daily life, that people do community service? I don't know. What do you think of that concept?
I think when people say, "Oh, how do you find the time to do so much stuff? You have 3 kids and you're a social and serial entrepreneur, and then you do so much projects," then I'm always asking a question back, like, it's more about not how do you do that, it's more what is important to you. And in this question, for example, you see what is important for society. And I think this is a big shift that we need to, overcome a little bit, because right now, when I see in Munich, a lot of people are very stressed out of their daily life. They have to do so much administration, organization, getting money for their rent and for their food and everything, that when I would ask, hey, would you join an activity? They would say, no, I don't have time. I can't do that. So for me, that's why I founded the initiative, a new plan for Germany, because I felt, what if there would not exist a Germany, and we could put the person, the human, in the middle and ask what does he needs, and this person, and he needs good food, good environment, good work, good travel, whatever. And then perhaps the whole economical system would not be so important anymore, because he has already everything he needs. And in this, I think there a big factor is that people should do not work for money, but understand that it's their lifetime they are spending. And I think that brings to the second criteria, that often people divide their lives between, this is my business life, my professional, and this is my private life. And I will say this is also about prioritizing what is important to you, because for me, for example, at the end of the month, I just want enough money that my family is well. But I don't, and after this, it's not important if I get money or not from the activity. It's more about what it brings me in my life experience. And I think these are very profound questions that people can ask themselves. What is really important in my life? And the moment you understand that giving is getting, you start giving back.
Definitely. And I also think that maybe a community service can also be part of the work, because I think that commercial companies can maybe give out hours. So they pay their employees like 1 or 2 hours, and the people can go and do some community service in that way, that they actually have the time, or they are able to take the time to do it. And then the company can also support this in a way. I think that can be a very interesting concept as well.
Yeah, so companies start to well, it's the same as this dorm I was part of, right?
Yeah,
it's them that organize something like community service, and the rule was really if I wouldn't I don't know, commit to it like for 3 times, I would still be kicked out despite paying rent every month. So
that's good. I think
the community service was valued a lot more than the monies in the bank.
Exactly. Very good, very good.
Yeah, and I think it's I think what's interesting here, and we see it as well. We work with volunteers as well, right? In all these cities that write stories and so on. It's really meeting expectations, but also talking about what is it you want. Why is it you want to be part of this? What's the value you want to take from it? And that's very personal, and everyone has a different answer. And if you can make sure to deliver on those values, it could be learning, could be practicing, could be portfolio, could be connecting, it could be a lot of these values. I think it's can be a very nice idea. In previous city talks as well, this was about expats and being called an expat versus feeling at home and belonging and so on. People just want to connect with others, and if that's connected again to a good cause, then that's a great win-win already.
And I think we are all social beings, not via media, social media, but more in direct and natural. And I think this is what we miss sometimes. And often these small things that Eva also told about, these are so important to make somebody's life so much richer than it is. Small things.
Yeah.
And everybody can contribute to that. Everybody has the value, is worth it. Like it gives you so much. Sometimes it's like therapy. It's like just therapy. You connect, you receive feedback. It's such a good thing to just help people with what I can do. It's so wow.
Maybe that's an interesting positioning.
Therapy,
new type of therapy.
We should go to the house insurances and ask them to pay for it. Then it's a job model.
you need coaching. Go volunteer. Go give back. Let's not talk about you, but let's talk about others.
Sometimes that helps too in a therapy, to not focus to his problems anymore. That's also one thing. For example, when I see when doing so much stuff often helps me to get things in relation. That it's not so heavy what happens to me. It's more like, hey, look how the others live or work and how happy they are. So Güneş, please come back to normality. So for me, it helps often to bring that in balance again.
I totally agree with you. It gives you so much perspective on other things and also on your own life. You can relate much more on like what is important and what's not, and how big your problems really are.
And always feeling grateful. I think from all of that, whatever situation you're in, like so many people are in different situations and most of them can still be happy. So I think it gives us something to not compare, but something to see and realize that wherever we are, we should always still be grateful.
Beautiful. Some nice words, guys. Really appreciate it. I have here Marta, actually in Canada. They actually have many, I don't even know what that word means, but that you qualify for by doing community service. Very few people know about it and do it, but it's a great initiative. Okay, nice. Nice. I think maybe our, I don't know, municipalities or governments can also take an example of this. You have Paulina. She's saying, I would love to volunteer, but sometimes not sure where and how to do it the right way. How can I make sure that my help is really needed? So maybe that is through, it continues. Reflect on that and tell how you decide. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is across travels. Eva, you have experience with that, right?
Yes, I do. What I think is always what comes in handy is to reach out to an organization in advance, and also to get in touch to ask if your help is welcome, if your help is needed, and also what they expect from you and how you can be of value. Because you're right, if you just go there 2 days as a tourist, that's not the way to do it. But I always try to plan that very carefully, like 3 to 4 months up in advance. And I must admit, I do usually reach out to organizations that also have a link to a European company or a European a person a bit closer by, so they understand also the value that I would like to bring, and also, yeah, maybe the things that you can do if you describe your job or you describe what you're good at or what your passion is, that they understand how that can be helpful. So yeah, I always do a little bit of research in advance, and also in Amsterdam, if I would do anything local, I would definitely reach out to a person that is in charge of the voluntary work, or somebody that has done it before. Maybe you know a friend or a colleague or a someone in your family that has a bit of experience in certain voluntary works, and you can ask and maybe get a little bit of a preview of what the work will be. That will really help, and you can also see and judge a bit for yourself if that will be the value that you were looking for.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. A question I would like to move to now is one of the last questions, but also one of the more practical ones. Is we talked about, of course, giving back to become more structural. Which I totally agree, and I think gifting and of course you can launch different projects throughout the year to remind people that they need to support their fellows. But in the light of where we're at now, I mean, most of us are in lockdown. I think. I don't know, Bali. Yeah, you're in lockdown. Yes, you're not. I don't know. But what can we do today? Like, what can we really do today, as in now or tomorrow? I would love us to put on our thinking hats and come up with ideas, like practical ideas, maybe stuff you've already done. And I know, Gunesh, you don't like to really focus on one particular group of people, but I did add something more about the elderly. Maybe it's because of loneliness, or the youngsters because they are challenged also from a more like mental health perspective. And of course, those that, lost their jobs or had to close down and how to get around. So if you have any ideas.
I have to say that I love to work on both levels, on the systemic level, but also with the individuals, because that gives me the founding, the basement to understand what the people could need. And what can we do is really reach out to them via those organizations, perhaps, that are in your city. Ask them, how can we help? And although it's now locked down and it's all contactless, there is a lot of possibilities available that you can really do. And I think in Amsterdam and for us in Munich, we have so much stuff in our apartments. So to help people that don't have so much stuff is possible. Ask in your neighborhood who wants to get rid of good things. Take these and bring that to these organizations that take care of the elderly, for example, or people that has not so much money because they use their jobs. And believe me, you do that anonymous the first time, but the second, the third, and one time you will have the first people in front of you, and you will understand how grateful they are for such a small thing, than collecting used things and give it to them. And it's just about consistency in everything. You have to stay consistent in what you're doing, and then you will get the big, return on it, return on investment, or in this case, return on just fun and just helping, supporting others.
Yeah, but I think just the question what you're saying is it's also hard to know where are those people with what they need, you know. So I could have a table that I don't use, but how do I know that somebody else needs one?
For me, that's the most interesting part, because when I ask in my neighborhood, hey, people, what about? We are just getting rid of everything that is too much. Then they say, yeah, cool. And then you have 3 tables and 4 chairs and whatever, you know. And then you think, okay, and now I have to find those people who really wants that so that it fits. And I like such an activity. And now I have a big network. So I'm just asking some people, and then I will find someone who needs that. But I think the most important thing in volunteering, in helping people, is to listen actively, to really listen what they need and not what I'm assuming that they need. And this is also something, it's much more in volunteering than just helping. It's personal development that you do if you really want to take care for others. But it's for me, it's the most fulfilling activity that we can do in our lives, to support others, help others, enabling to be their best version they can be.
And so to add to listening is also asking the right question, right?
Yeah, but usually if you listen actively, then you will understand that the answer is not the answer that you wanted, and then you ask more to understand it. But yes, you should never assume what people need, perhaps. Sometimes people don't want a table. That's okay. Then you perhaps can help them with a blanket. Or perhaps you can just help them by talking to them, giving them time, you know, watching a video film with them, or I don't know what. So often, and this is the idea behind our Christmas dinner, it's more about giving time to others. They get food and they get presents, but it's more about the time that people get. And this is something that we tried this time. We are not just giving bags where are surprises inside. We're also giving food that they can heat at their home. And we are also calling them and asking them if everything is fine. And perhaps we will have a conversation with them.
Very interesting. You made me speechless a bit for a second there. Goodness. Sorry. Giving time. I'm stuck in the concept of giving time. I think that's a beautiful concept.
Yeah, I think time is something that we lack a little bit. Also, those who are very busy, you know, you feel like, oh, I can't give now 1 hour, 2 hours to just talk about the weather or something. But often they open, and then you get interesting stories about the history of the area where you live in. And you feel like, wow, that's so much more than documentary on Geographic National or whatever. But I think this is what I meant before with everybody in this world then understands that he has already everything he needs to have a fulfilled life. You can give time that doesn't cost you anything, you know. You can give something that you have at home. You can share your food, and that doesn't cost you really so much more, but you really make people happy with that. And that's so easy. Yeah, you just have to do it. I just wanted to answer the question of Paulina intuitively with ask and do. Do and make your experiences, and then you will make better decisions. And in 1 year, you have that voluntary work that you enjoy.
Yeah. So, and if you think too much, you lose a lot of valuable time, which you could have been giving to somebody else.
Yeah,
that's true.
Interesting. But I think we also should need to rebrand the whole word volunteering into then time givers or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Okay, giving time. Okay, I think so. Today, I mean, the question was like, what can we do today? Is give time. So we need to make sure that we listen carefully to others and make sure that people know that we have time to give.
Yeah, give time, give attention, give small things.
Yeah, creating connections.
Yeah.
Also, for example, on the streets, if people are begging for money, sometimes I feel like I can't give everybody money. It's like too much, and there is not time to do that, perhaps, or whatever. But I always try to look at the eyes of this person and just say hello or no, sorry, or whatever. You know, I just want to appreciate that his existence and not make him invisible. Because I realized that for most people, the worst thing is that they feel invisible in our society, that people don't look into their faces, don't realize that there are humans, that they just look through them or not look in their directions. And I feel like this attention, what Eva said, it's so important to just give it to people. And it could be a smile and a word and a view, a sight, everything.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Make them feel seen, and even just be human, say hi or wave at them, give them a smile. That makes a difference already. And if you have the possibility to give them something, do it, or just buy something at the grocery store and bring that back instead of just giving money.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think even especially now in these COVID times as well, people in general started to be, getting a bit more distance, right? So you can also have a 1.5 meter physical connection. And
Absolutely.
Still look them in the eye.
I mean, we have it here all over the world. So
yeah, I know.
It works.
My eyes are in Bali now, and I've never been there. Great. But just to feed in some ideas. So I mean, just to summarize, I mean, giving time, connection, attention. I would love to give people some tools here. So if that's a given, how do we break it down to actions? Maybe Eva you have some practical ideas that people could do.
Yeah, I think you, like I said from the beginning, it's something that you can find in your everyday life. So if you are doing your Christmas cards, write some extra cards and bring them to a local organization where that people are lacking attention at the moment. For instance, elderly people that are a bit lonely, or a place where or a neighbor that that may be a bit lonely at the moment. Give them an extra card. Or maybe you're in the position to share some food or a drink with someone, even on a distance. I think that can be very, very easy and nice. Wave at them, like we said, give people a bit of the feeling that they are seen, and treat them humanly, if that's a word, human.
Humanly.
So yes, I think it's in the small things, especially now due to COVID. We should make sure that we show appreciation and give a bit of attention, and that can be in any small way.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially during these times, more people are feeling lonely. So any connection, giving back, doesn't necessarily mean it has to be in the form of money, but giving back by, showing attention, showing love, showing that you care for, as humans to each other, that we're all the same. That definitely could be done through, I agree with Eva, with a lot of stuff that you can just put in your daily life.
And for me, it's also... Yeah, and for me, it's also like perhaps ask in your network, ask your friends if they are engaging in something, so you can join them once and just see what they are doing. And it's ask in your local areas if there are some foundations, some NGOs, so you can just ask them, or also social startups, businesses. Just ask them, hey, I would like to do something with my time. Can I help you? Like Eva is saying, doing some social media for others to help them raising awareness for something, being visible more and more. So you can, this is what I like at this point, that with what you can always benefit somebody's work or existence. So just ask around and it will find you.
Well, actually, may that be a last good tip. If you follow some organizations, for instance, I followed the organization in Amsterdam that takes care of homeless people in the area. They actually put out a lot of questions, like, we're looking for winter coats. Would you have some extra hats? They are collecting, so everything that they need at the moment, they actually put that a lot on social media. So if you like to help, it can be very easy to just follow a few interesting organizations in your local area or in your city, or maybe countrywide, because the charities and the organizations, the nonprofits, also have a hard time in COVID. So they will really reach out to their following, asking for help, asking for donations, but also like small things like giving some gloves to a homeless person, and you can just bring that to the organization and be of help. So that can be easy to start with, to follow them and to apply to their requests.
Very good, very good. I think I also need to follow some more organizations.
Yeah,
Because,
maybe. Yeah.
But even if that comes more on your timeline, then you get also more reminded on things you can do. Because everybody has 5 to 10 minutes, or drives an extra round through the city to drop off some gloves that you're never using, whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I like those tips already. Very good. Give time, don't wait. Act. Good. I'm gonna just quickly send this chat because I just wrote them down, the list of comments, so people can just. There you go. All right. I have some questions. I mean, this is moving towards the end of the Q&A, but we have some comments from. I think there's Sarah. Was Sarah? There we go. There are a lot of questions. There we go. Sarah had a question for you guys. Is there a particular reason why each of you chose to give back to the community? An origin story?
For me, I have to say it just feels natural. This is why we are here, to give back, because we can. There's no rational reason or something. Yeah, I could watch more Netflix videos, films, and I could do more makeup and sleep more if I would engage less. But then if I would die, I wouldn't have such a fulfilled life. So this is for me my currency. How many inspiring moments can I have in my life? And engaging, volunteering, time giving, whatever, is a big part of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, so I started Cassie because on birthdays I would try to think about what to give to my friends, but I'm like, you have everything you need. You're not gonna. If I give you cake, I'm pretty sure you can get that cake yourself, or you can make that cake, or you can get a shirt yourself. So I wanted to give a gift that that really could help more than just us, but also made us feel good. So I used to donate for charities on their behalf. And then I just send them a confirmation like, oh, hey, I did this, and this was for you. And we couldn't find a platform to kind of really do that. So that's how we started Cassie. We really do want, when people think of gifting, to think of giving a charitable donation as a gift, because it really is a win-win for, both parties, as the one purchasing it and also the one receiving it. It's just you feel good knowing that something that would have been something materialistic that may or may not be necessary. But this is something that helps more than just, your birthday could affect more than just you, or Christmas affects more than just you, could help whatever cause that you are passionate about. So yeah. That's how Cassie started.
Nice. I think you also need a time card where people just, start to give time themselves.
Yeah.
The 10 minutes card, or something that the value is not maybe not money, but the value is time, Just a thought. Yeah. Eva?
Yeah, well, I used to work in a full-time job where I didn't fully felt, how do you say, fulfilled, I would say. I worked very hard, like trying to build this big career and working 50 hours a week. And then at a certain point, I felt so empty. So when I got the chance to do it differently, I decided that I will never work full-time for 100%, but will always save up some time to do charity and to do voluntary work or give time in this matter. And it gives me so much more balance, because I like my work, but it's very commercial, and I like to give back in my private life to feel more fulfilled. Otherwise, I'm not that satisfied, I think. So it gave me really, something extra in life.
And then we have to make sure to make it full time, so we have all the time to
Yeah,
give.
that will be
Right?
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the next step. There's one question by Jan, is for Eva as well.
Okay.
And it's about language.
Ooh, yeah, that's actually a very funny thing, because the moment I volunteered, I met a lot of international people that didn't speak the language. I think the only time that it will be a bit of a barrier would be if you would work with elderly people, because they may be having a difficult time with English or understanding English, or maybe talking to you quickly. But other than that, I think especially doing things with homeless people, with children, like for instance, working in the food bank or doing some prepping with local dinners or festivities in your city, it's a lot of fun, and you meet a lot of people that don't speak the Dutch language. It's never been a problem for them.
I hope it helped you, Jan.
Yeah, come and join.
Come and join. Come and join. And then the final question for today, to close off the last City Talks of 2020 and this year. What are your wishes, individual wishes for 2021?
Ooh.
What's your goal? What do you like to see happen? From 1,000 maybe to 5,000 bags, Guinness?
Perhaps a nationwide initiative. Yes.
Yeah.
No, for me the wish would be, I think this year was a year full of struggles and surprises and everything. But I think that a lot of people had realized that other things are more important. And what I would wish for me and for everybody is that we never lose that connection that we have now to those wishes that we had, to those real important things in our lives. And I just wish us all that we don't fall back into the rat race as we were before, that we perhaps really can make a change in everybody's lives, in ours too, and in others, in doing the right things.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Eva?
Well, I really hope for 2021 that during the COVID time, I think the image of helping others or voluntary work has changed in a positive way. I think it became less nerdy and a bit like more respected to do it. And I really hope that will continue in 2021. I really hope that people, that they will do it more and they will enjoy it as much as we do. So I really hope that trend will continue the way that it did in this year, because things have changed so much and people see it now.
Yeah, nice. And then Arena?
Yeah, I do, my 2021 wish would be for, people not to be less wasteful and things. So, because I feel like COVID sometimes it really is the earth telling us to slow down. So I feel like, reducing our waste, we're helping the planet, we're protecting the earth. And, when we're thinking about gifting each other, let's think bigger than just to each other, but still always keep the spirit of gift giving. So hopefully something like Cassie could be, a new movement, a new trend that, redefining gifting so that you are helping others while gifting.
My wish for 21 is that your wishes will be fulfilled. No, but I think one of the red threads that I'm hearing as well is that through what we're going through with COVID, you just hope there is less dividing and more collective responsibility. And I think if we all carry that with us, that momentum of collective responsibility, that it's not only translated through wearing face masks and so on, but that we look after each other a bit more.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a great win if we can convert that.
Yeah.
All right, guys, it's way over bedtime, and well, I mean, it's a super interesting topic and theme to be discussing, and well, I want to thank each and one of you for your time and for starting these great initiatives. I think we should also find a way to transcend that across borders. Activities that you guys are doing locally. Why reinvent the wheel? I think they could also work in all our cities and where we live. So maybe that's also an interesting exchange at one point that we can have outside of this screen. But I'm gonna thank each one of you. Eva, dankjewel for your time.
Thank you.
And well, of course, happy holidays, and good luck with all your projects.
Thank you. Same to you guys.
Okay, I'm gonna say bye-bye and all the best. Bye. And then Arena, all the way from Bali. It's finally time to go to bed.
Yeah.
Thanks for
I'm very
staying up
happy
so
to
late. And hope
you.
you can have your gifts somewhere in Europe at one point in time.
Great.
Ciao, terima kasih.
Bye.
And then Gunesh, vielen Dank. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for I grew up in Munich, so Munich is one of my hometowns for sure. But thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
All the best with the MacGyvers and with the Christmas project.
Thank you.
With all the 1,000 bags. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. And then you're all back to me. And then is there still a comment? Marta says, thank you. Great, Marta. Thank you. I'm going to click this better because the last question is still visible. Yes, that was the end of the City Talks, the last City Talk of 2020. I'm still a bit baffled by what we discussed. There's so many, my head's spinning with all kinds of ideas and things that we can do. But I think the statement is clear. It's about giving time, and we do all have time, especially for those that in need and need our support. So connect with all these great initiatives like Cassie and the MacGyvers and the Sunshine Journey. And these are just a few of many others that are doing amazing stuff. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can just, start collaborating and follow them on their amazing journey and projects. And just like us, we work also with volunteers all around the world. And for years, we have a team of committed citizens around the world because, we align on values, and throughout the year have a mission to work on creating better cities through stories and through these meaningful connections that we want to share with you. And not to forget, we do actually have an amazing project at the moment. Let me flick through this. Let me see. Here we go. We actually launched a Christmas countdown like last Monday. It's our way on as well to slightly give back to our community of city enthusiasts. So each day will, like an advent calendar, each day will open a door with a little surprise for you. For example, we recently launched a Spotify playlist from our network with amazing tunes. Same as a Giving Back Challenge on supporting Trees for All. We offered a course for everyone at the moment. If you go through the countdown, you can click on the full course we did with Eva. These are 4 episodes that inspire you to roll up your sleeves and do something meaningful. It's only until the end of the year, and then it becomes part of our member program. So be quick to check it out. And there's more to come in the coming days. This will run until the 23rd of December, just before Christmas Eve. So check in every day and find out about the little gifts that we have in place for you. Yes, and the only thing that rests me to say is wishing you a safe, happy holiday season. It's been an amazing ride this year to have everyone watching and have around 30 speakers invited from all over the globe to take this stage and share their story with us. So I want to say thank you to all those people that contributed and to collaborated. I want to wish you a happy holiday. Stay safe, stay healthy, not that important, super important. And I know lockdown is tough on many of us, But yeah, we have to make the best out of it, and we'll get through it. And we hope for better times in 2021. So we'll see you back in 2021, and enjoy your break. Okay, all the best. Take care. Bye-bye.